Thank you for watching our video compilation of recipes that'll keep you warm on a cold and rainy day. If you enjoy these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. We will start in the video with our version of Epcot's cheddar cheese soup. Add the half-pound diced bacon and cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. Stir occasionally until it is browned or reaches your desired level of crispiness. Do not drain the bacon grease as it helps add extra flavor. Add in 1 medium diced red onion. Cut and slice up 3 celery ribs or approx 3/4 cup of celery and add in the pot. Cook the red onion and celery over medium heat about 5 to 10 minutes, stirring occasionally until the red onion and celery have softened. You will notice the onion becoming more translucent as it cooks. Keep the burner on medium heat and add half a stick or 4 tablespoons of butter, stirring it continuously until it's completely melted and starts to bubble a little. Continue on medium heat and add 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour to the melted butter while stirring constantly. It is important to add the flour slowly to prevent lumps from forming. Keep stirring until the flour is fully incorporated and the mixture forms a smooth paste. This is our roux. Slowly pour in the 4 cups of milk, whisking continuously to prevent lumps from forming. The mixture will start to thicken and become smooth. Keep whisking until all the milk is incorporated. Now add in the 3 cups of chicken broth and stir until well mixed. This will add more flavor and depth to the soup. Add a 1/2 cup of beer and stir. The beer adds a rich, malty flavor to your cheddar cheese soup. You may substitute a 1/2 cup of chicken broth in place of the beer if you prefer. Then add in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 1 tablespoon of hot sauce to the recipe. Both are popular condiments with very different flavor profiles, but work well in this cheese soup. Now you will add the star of the recipe, 1 pound of grated white cheddar cheese. I used a store-brand sharp white cheddar cheese. You can use the brand of your choice. To finish it off, add salt and pepper to taste. Garnish with green onions. You can also garnish with chives if you would like to. You can blend with an immersion blender for a smooth soup or serve it as is. If the soup is too thick, you can add warm milk or chicken broth to thin it. Serve warm and enjoy. This soup is served with a pretzel roll in the park. If you have any left over, be sure to store it in the refrigerator as the flavors even get better. We hope you enjoy this rich, creamy, and cheesy goodness. Today we recreate Epcot's French onion soup, also known as soupe à l'oignon gratiné. Heat large pot over medium heat to melt 10 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Add 4 large sliced onion to the melted butter. Cook until they are caramelized and soft. Stir in 2 tablespoons all-purpose flour. Pour in 10 cups chicken broth. Add 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1/2 teaspoon black pepper, 2 teaspoons thyme, 1 tablespoon parsley, 2 dried bay leaves. Stir and cover. Lower the heat to medium-low for 40 minutes. Toast French bread at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes. Place a slice of bread in a bowl and pour the onion soup over the bread. Preheat oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Garnish the soup with shredded Gruyere cheese and place in the oven for about 10 minutes or until cheese is melted and golden brown. Now the soup is ready to serve. Enjoy! Here is our inspired chicken coconut curry stew recipe from Boma's, located in Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Add all of the pieces of chicken, 1 tablespoon curry powder, along with salt and pepper to taste in a gallon food storage bag and shake it up. This hack keeps things nice and tidy, and it helps ensure that every piece of chicken gets coated evenly with the delicious spice blend. Next, heat up 3 tablespoons of cooking oil on medium to medium-high to brown the chicken. Once the oil is ready, place 4 pieces of the chicken into the pan. Overcrowding the pan is a common mistake. By putting just 4 pieces in at a time, it allows each piece of chicken to brown evenly and get a lovely golden crust. Use the lid to help minimize grease splatters while browning the chicken. Once the first 4 pieces of chicken are browned evenly, set them aside on a plate and add the remaining pieces into the pan and brown them evenly. Now that the chicken is beautifully browned, set all 8 pieces of chicken aside on a plate. Add 6 tablespoons of butter to the fond those browned bits from the chicken to make your roux. The fond or browned bits add so much depth and richness to the final dish. Lower the heat and add 3/4 cup flour for the roux. 5 to 10 minutes of cooking time is crucial to get rid of the raw flour taste and develop those lovely nutty flavors. Stir until combined. The base of our roux is now done. It's now time to add the 4 cups of chicken broth in to create the stew. Add a touch of sweetness by adding in 1/2 cup of honey. It is a wonderful addition to this dish because it adds a lovely complexity and balances out the savory spices and richness of the coconut milk. It's spice time. Add in 1/8 teaspoon cayenne pepper and 1½ tablespoons of curry powder. These flavors will bloom in the roux and infuse the entire stew with warmth and depth. 1 cup diced tomato makes a great addition to this stew. The tomatoes provide a nice sweetness and a bit of acidity that helps balance out the richness of the coconut milk and other flavors. 1 cup diced onions, another great way to add some sweetness and savory flavor into the stew. 1 cup diced potatoes, which is an essential component for a hearty and satisfying stew. Adding them now will give them plenty of time to cook through and become nice and tender. Half-seeded and minced jalapeno pepper. This is what is going to give this stew a wonderful kick. 1 cup coconut milk. This is what will give the stew its signature creamy texture and luscious flavor. Stir everything together until well combined. Now, add the chicken back into the pot for it to finish cooking through and soak up all those incredible flavors from the sauce. Cook over medium heat. Stir occasionally. When the chicken has reached the internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, the stew is ready to eat. You can leave the chicken whole, or I like to remove the skin and dice it up and add it back into the stew. Grab a bowl and garnish with cilantro. Enjoy! After looking at many versions of Walt Disney's chili, we created our inspired version. Please enjoy. Used an Instant Pot for this recipe. Turn on the Instant Pot and choose the Sauté button. Start by adding a tablespoon of cooking oil, add the ground beef and brown it, then add the sliced onions and diced celery. After browning the meat and the onions and celery are translucent, add the garlic powder, paprika, chili powder, salt, pepper, dry mustard, and parsley. Stir together to help release the flavors from the seasonings for about 5 to 10 minutes. Add in the beef broth, kidney beans, and diced tomatoes. Stir well, cover, and set the Instant Pot on pressure cook on high for 30 minutes and let it slow release. The total cook time and slow release will be a little over an hour. I have found that soups, stews, and chili, when cooked with the Instant Pot for at least 30 minutes to an hour, will give the same taste as slow cooking it for several hours on the stove. You can do a quick release, but I find that the slow release gives the dish a little more time to enhance the flavors. If you do not have an Instant Pot, you can use a slow cooker or pot on the stove for this recipe. Open the lid and enjoy one of our favorite dishes inspired by Walt Disney. Recipe below in comments. This is our inspired recipe from Epcot's tomato bisque soup.
In a large stock pot or soup pot with a heavy bottom is ideal. The heavy bottom will help distribute heat evenly and prevent scorching. Add 1 tablespoon of butter to the pot. Let it melt completely over medium heat. Watch carefully, as you don't want the butter to brown or burn. Once the butter has melted, we will add 1 large diced onion to the pot and cook onion. Stir it occasionally to prevent it from sticking or burning. As the onion cooks, it will release its natural sugars and become sweeter, adding depth of flavor to the soup. Pour the 3 cans of diced tomatoes into the pot with the sautéed onions. Stir the tomatoes and onions together. Bring the mixture to a simmer. Sprinkle 1 teaspoon of garlic powder into the pot. Adding garlic powder or fresh garlic at this stage infuses the entire soup with its flavor as it simmers. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar. The sugar will help to balance the acidity of the tomatoes and enhance the overall flavor of the bisque. And 1 tablespoon of fresh basil. Continue to simmer the soup. The basil will release its oils and aromas, adding a fresh, fragrant layer to the bisque. Let's incorporate the 1/4 cup chicken broth into your tomato bisque. 8 cups of water. Bring the soup back to a simmer, then reduce the heat and continue to simmer. Simmering allows the flavors to meld together, creating a richer, more cohesive taste. Be extremely cautious with the next recipe step to avoid burns. Carefully insert the immersion blender in the pot, starting at a low speed and gradually increasing as needed. Blend until you reach your desired consistency before adding any salt. Taste the soup carefully. This will give you a baseline for how much salt is needed. Add about a quarter teaspoon at a time. Taste the soup after you've salted it to taste. This will give you a good sense of how the pepper will complement the existing flavors. Stir in a quarter cup of heavy whipping cream into the soup. Be sure to mix it in thoroughly so that it's evenly distributed. Once the cream is fully incorporated and the soup is heated through, give the soup a final taste and adjust any seasonings as needed. The cream will mellow the flavors and add richness, so you might want to add a touch more salt or pepper to balance it out. Now we have a bowl of warm, mouth-watering tomato bisque. On the next cold day, try this recipe. Leave your comments below, and please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel for many more Disney-inspired or recreated recipes. Until next time, happy eating.